Permaculture Action Day.
Get your hands dirty!
3 up.
Oh, got it.
Guys.
Good work.
Bruce B. with We Are Change Colorado here. I got the honor to be with David, aka the Polish Ambassador, one of the biggest inspirations in music right now, not just for his amazing music, but for really what he does after his sets. Last night, Fillmore Auditorium, 3,500 people showed up for the Rising Appalachia and Lily Fangz show with him, and now we're here with another probably, I don't know, the Facebook event said 1,000, but we're dealing with hundreds of people right now, and everybody's helping dig up these beds, uplift them, and then we're loading out the dirt. We're here at Sustainability Park in Denver, 25th and Lawrence, and this Sustainability Park is going to actually go by the wayside. So we're building some tiny homes, and there's going to be a little resistance thanks to Denver Homeless Out Loud and Occupy Denver. So it's really great to see what we're doing today. Just tell us a little about what inspires this. Like, where do you get that inspiration to inspire us all to do the same?
Yeah. Oh man, well, going around and doing so many shows and doing so many festivals around this country, you look out into this crowd and you see this frenetic energy of thousands upon thousands of people getting down. And I think this all started with the question of like, hey, can we go out and have this party, and then can we ground that energy the next day in some sort of service project such as this, where people are getting together in a non-concert environment and able to get to know each other and get their hands dirty together and have conversations that need to be had out in the field, out in the garden, in the community garden space. So that's kind of what's going on here. It's just like, how do we catalyze that energy that comes to these shows that is created through music, and how do we spread it around in our communities like this?
It's really like what you're doing is you're amplifying and you're uplifting it more than just the music, more than just listening to an album on SoundCloud or whatever it is we're inspiring people to take this message with them and then to build their own gardens. And sometimes that doesn't even have to be a physical garden. It's like planting seeds of consciousness in people's minds, of these like little truth bombs, some people call them, where we're building this and we're talking about real stuff in the music nowadays. There's a lot of focus here in Colorado. One of the other organizations I help out with is Musical Activist Alliance, and we're really working to unite artists like Polish and Rising Appalachia who put messages into their music, and go as deep as like Immortal Technique and, Black Thought, awesome hip hop and with awesome folk music, and DJs, all these different people who are putting messages in the music. We're trying to unite them to really focus on using that platform to do what you're doing. And it's really really a big inspiration. I could say it a million times, but it's just really a great honor to get a chance to talk to you a little bit. There's a lot of, places like Denver that are having a big food community explosion. If you could just shout out a couple of those other spots where you really see, the movement lively for people that are maybe looking to move, or just to be inspired by whatever everybody around the nation's doing, to do it in their local area.
Yeah, well, we've been doing this all over the country. I think I was counting earlier, and this is our 50th event over the past year and a half. Some sort of action day in an urban area or in a community outside of a festival, and I don't know, man. It's like it's hard to really say there's more of a boom in one area than another, because like I think people are really craving this. They're craving. It's almost like we've sort of created something and people didn't know that they wanted it or something. I think a lot of people did, but there's other people that are kind of like, yeah, I know I want to like really build community, and I want music that can help rally me and my friends to create something. And how do we do that? And I think this is an experiment in that. But going to some of the cities where we are going to be doing future action days in the next 6 months that are going to be just as big as this, maybe bigger, are places like Portland, Oregon, Oakland, California. We even get into San Francisco, Los Angeles. We just did an awesome one in Asheville, North Carolina. So really all over the country, wherever the people are saying, hey guys, come on, we want this, like, let's do it.
Yeah, there's a huge movement to putting intention into our actions and really, caring about what we put out into the world, choosing our words wisely, choosing our actions wisely, choosing where we put our dollars wisely. I think one thing that Polish does that's really inspiring is putting the music out there for Name Your Price. That is the evolution of music. That is something that, it's changing the game. and it's working. I mean, I really see it, and I just want to make sure that everybody supports. Check out his albums and chip in what you can. You don't have to be the guy that always puts 0. You can put in 1, you can put in 10, you can put in 100. Really, just chip in what you can to support the music and whatever that means. If you're at a show and you're there, support the artist and buy an album, or at least just tell people about the music and get it out there to your friends and your family that need that good music, because it is medicine for us. And I really appreciate your music. It is definitely medicine to see 3,500 people going wild, and then to see this happening after. It's just it's a magical experience. And one thing that We Are Change is all about is being the change. And we got to be willing to change ourselves first, and then we've changed the world from there. And I think that's just it's an important step. Is there anything that kind of like a transformation that happened in your life to really kind of like was your aha moment? Anything that you could share like that?
I've had many aha moments. Let's see, what would come to me right now? I think that one thing that's really helped me over the past 3 or 4 years is honoring the receiving and being grateful for all that I've been given, and then also honoring the service and how that can feel so good, and really like inquiring within myself, like, how can I be at a higher potential of myself? Like, what's my level up? What's my next level? Like, how can I be more in service to my community? And just continuing to like have that inquiry, because it never ends. And I think that's what evolves us as humans is trying to find that higher potential within ourselves to figure out how we can be in service to our community. Because ultimately the thing is, we can receive and we can go out to a show and it's something we're getting. It's an experience we're getting, or we can go travel abroad and see beautiful places, and it's an experience we're getting. And in a lot of ways, our culture is rigged to sort of make us the receiver, and totally acknowledging that it can feel so good. It can actually feel better to be in service and to give. Like, and in that service, actually, there is receiving.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's something that's really helped me over the past few years.
Awesome. Well, and one thing for me that I like that you were kind of putting it out there on social media, make sure to follow him on Twitter and Facebook and really support. But one thing I saw you putting out there that I really spoke to me was, I haven't drank in almost 2 years, and that's kind of been one of my transformations. As like, I kind of had it, your levels of alcoholism is kind of different, but like I had it under control, but it was kind of just still like, I kind of felt like a drug addict. I was going to buy these awesome beers, 4-packs and 6-packs of these awesome Colorado microbrews, and I was just like, really, I don't know what I'm getting out of this anymore, and it's kind of pulling my vibration down. And so I quit drinking, and I've seen just so many positive things in my life flower from that. And one thing you were putting out there on Facebook and Twitter was, would people still be interested in coming to shows if there was no alcohol there? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I noticed there was a lot of drunk people last night. There was a lot of sober people as well, but I would love to see that. I would really like to see how that works with a venue or even a festival that has no alcohol. Or I know a Rise that has alcohol, but it just didn't seem like a very alcohol-heavy vibration. Talk a little about that for us.
Okay. When I think about my experience with alcohol, so right now I'm drinking occasionally a nice delicious homebrew that I make, and sometimes I'll go to a store, a buddy will bring over a 6-pack. But I think that for myself, like, the moment I realized I would go into a venue and there was a level of discomfort in myself, and to remedy that, I would go for alcohol. That's when I was like, okay, that's a problem. If I can't actually be in this space or be anywhere around a bunch of other people and just feel at ease and at myself, and I need this thing externally to make me full, that's a problem. So that's kind of why I stopped drinking for a while, just to reestablish my relationship with alcohol. And I don't think alcohol's bad. I mean, alcohol's been around for millions of years, actually. Like, it's a very long-standing tradition that many cultures have had alcohol, and it's a great thing. And
it's used like medicine.
Yeah,
when you treat it like
when it's used like medicine, and when it's not being used as a crutch, right? To create happiness within yourself. For myself, you know, I've been homebrewing, and you start making your own mead, and like you're drinking a substance that's alive and is actually really good for you, you know. And if you're drinking the real stuff, you don't want to be over consuming it. You have a glass with dinner and your belly warms up and you feel great, and it's a beautiful experience. So that's kind of a little bit about my background with alcohol. And then as far as bringing alcohol into show, or bringing alcohol and non-alcoholic, like healthier options into shows, I'm stoked for people to come through and have a beer of their choice. And I think for me, again, it goes back to this idea of opportunity, like people having the opportunity, or the option rather, to come into a venue and be like, oh, you know what, I'd love to have a delicious herbal tea right now, or like a cold brew tea, or like kombucha, yeah, or a kombucha, or some sort of elixir that like can get my vibration a little bit higher because I'm feeling a little bit low. You know, I think just exploring options is really what I'm all about. Because again, I don't want to say to anybody you shouldn't do something, because I think everybody should do what they want. But I also don't think that there should be liquor laws in place that disallow things like alternative beverages to come in, and that's essentially what's happening. That's, you know.
Yeah, it's monopolizing the choice, and it's all, you know, for the big booze companies. At least maybe we could get some more microbrews into these venues, into these bigger scale events and whatnot. So I really just thank you for what you do. I want to give you a chance to shout out your different projects, your different websites, and anything else you just want to make sure that our viewers for We Are Change Colorado. It's WACC TV on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe if you're watching this. But yeah, give a second to just really share what you got going. I know Wildlight album just dropped, and so just tell us about all that.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Wildlight album just finished up. That's a project with my partner Ayla and I. She is the vocalist, and I am the composition, the beats behind the vocals. And what else is going on? You know, I think that I just have this ever flowing stream of like gigs coming through that you can follow on. You can check it out on Facebook and SoundCloud and all of that stuff, and look for Permaculture Action days like this that are coming through your city, or coming around to festivals that you're stoked about. You can expect more TPA music in the future. You know, this train is not stopping anytime soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, make sure to plan your own stuff. If there's not a Permaculture Action Day happening, plan it. Yeah. And if you have this idea, start building the vision for hosting your own festival in March or April, so that we can plant veggies in March or April and really begin this process. So it all starts right now, in the now moment. And I really thank everybody for watching this. Make sure to just support these artists that are doing great work for the environment, for the world, speaking their truths, and just putting out ideas. Really, I mean, you know, these great minds talk about ideas, right? You know, the old quote, you know, average minds talk about people, and you know, small minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas. So, you know, we're great minds right here. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it in.
Thanks, brother.
Oh, love you, brother.
Love you too.
Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to share this video, and just do what you can to be the change in your own life, because you are the sovereign king and the sovereign queen, and you are not ruled by anyone. And the biggest setback for you is going to be yourself. So free yourself from your mind tyrant and be free, my friends. Thanks a lot.